Hey, what's going on? What's going on, everyone? Everybody. How is everyone doing on this a little chilly Saturday night? Saturday, June the 23rd. Holy, June is gone. June is gone. You guys didn't even notice it's gone. June is gone. What can you do, right? What can you do? You know what they say is that as you grow older, the time passes faster. Why? I don't know why. Remember when you were young? A year was like so goddamn long. So I guess the time is exponential when it comes to human beings' life on this planet. Is that true? I don't know. I'm not an expert on that. I'm just saying. How is everyone doing, by the way? Huh? Well, so I'm just taking it easy as I always do, for most part. I did some cooking. I went to grocery shopping at Key Foods up on what is that goddamn street on Atlantic and what's the cross street there? And then I got some organic chicken wings and I cooked it with some amazing like in a stew style. And I had that penne from Whole Foods, right? That I got last week. And it turned out so good. Oh my goodness. It turned out so good. It's, like, it's in my fridge. I can have it anytime. You always want to have food in your fridge. Because sometimes, sometimes you do a little drinking with friends or whatever out, and then you get hungry, and then your body is like, so weak and all that. You don't want to do that. You always need to keep food as well as orange juice. Orange juice actually gives you a lot of vitamin C, which is essential for the well-being of your body, right? Exactly. So yeah, I got a lot of orange juice today. I drank a lot of orange juice this morning too. And so by the way, I started watching season 2 of Star Trek: The Enterprise. Jonathan Archer. He is the goddamn captain of the ship Enterprise. Season 2. So I started watching that season 2. I think it started in 2002, if I'm not mistaken. Is it old? It is old, so who cares? I like it. Who cares? You guys don't watch the old movies, huh? Huh? So don't give me that shit. That's old. How is everyone doing, huh? Everyone is doing a night out? Or are you home? Or are you out with your friend, with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, whatever friend, or with your family? Whatever you're doing, enjoy your time, man. Enjoy your time. I'm an old man, so I'm just going to take fish and do my podcast. I'm doing this podcast on Saturday as opposed to a Sunday. That's when I usually do it because tomorrow possibly I have a dinner date in Soho, most likely. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And so yeah, I watched that when I woke up. I woke up around like what 11:30 or something like that. Yeah. And then I watched that. I have that 42-inch TV in my master bedroom with the Apple TV and all that, right? So yeah, I watched that, and yeah, I didn't watch. And I was watching. I was trying to watch a bunch of movies last night, including Riddick and all those, right? And Star Trek, Riddick, and all that. Um, is really going to have a sequel? I'm not sure. That's a fucking amazing classic movie. With Vin Diesel and all that. Jones and Doll. What's her name? She's beautiful, by the way. Blonde actress from Ridley. You guys can figure it out, right? So I'm going to be just lazy tonight. You guys figure it out. I'm not going to look it up for you. Sorry. So yeah, I also realized that I needed to change the shower curtain. Not curtain, but the the liner. I have a beautiful curtain from I think from Marshalls. Is that from Marshalls or from IKEA? One of those. But the liner, you have to have a liner on the inside of the shower curtain, right? So I had that. So I changed that, and then I also bought some bed sheets because I need it. So I went to Marshalls, right? I went to goddamn Marshalls, and I usually take my own bag because I don't like them to give me like stuff in like plastic bags. So I took my bag, and so I was in the line, right? I was in the line, checkout line, and then I go to the cashier, right? So she starts putting my stuff in plastic bags. I'm like, no, I have my own bag. So I show it to her, and she looks at the bag and she looks at the tag, right? So it was one of those bags that I had bought from Marshalls when I moved in here into my new place on Skimmerhorn, and but I had forgot to actually. I hadn't forgotten. Is that what it is? I had forgotten to remove the tag, the price tag. It's only 99 cents. God damn it. So she looks at me and she looks at the bag and price tag. She's like, did you just get it from here? I'm like, no, I bought this a long time ago. Right? And so, so she was trying to charge me like 99 cents, although it was 99 cents. Charge me for the bag, which I had took with me, I had taken with me from my place. But in any case, so I did that, and then I came, and I did some cooking. I worked for like maybe an hour. Yeah, I had to put together a proposal for a new job, so I did that, which I'm going to send out on Monday, the June 25th, right? And then I did some cooking, amazing cooking. It was so delicious. I'm looking forward to have it tomorrow, or like tomorrow, like tomorrow night for for leftovers and all that. I'm gonna have it a little bit, probably like midnight or something, because I get hungry sometimes. So yeah, that's what I did, and here I am. I'm just doing my podcast. How's everyone doing, huh? Well, the weather is kind of weird. And I have a lot of topics, obviously. I have in my cheat sheet that I want to talk about, right? And I presume, and I hope, not hope, but I assume many of you relate to those topics, right? Oh yeah, so I also watched Bill Maher's, the Real Time with Bill Maher on HBO. I watched that today, and he brings in a bunch of like very interesting guests, and they talk about shit in Cheyanola, right? I mean, it's political like talk show. I think that's what it is. Plus a little bit of humor and all that, you know. So that's what I watched, and I was also watching. I've been watching Joe Rogan's Experience on YouTube a lot. Joe Rogan is a great guy. He also brings in amazing guests. Usually he'll bring in, like, he does his podcast, like video podcast. He usually brings in one. Usually brings in one guest, and they talk about shit. that's related to the guest's work for like a couple of hours. I don't know if I would if Joe Rogan ever invites me, I'm gonna say, hey Joe, listen, I'm sorry, I can't do this for 2 hours. Um, I can only do for an hour. Okay, I can only do for an hour, and you can ask me anything from crash landing on a ship to finding it and going back to my planet, Rita Zetakuli, right? Yeah, that was a joke. So he brought in a guest, right, Joe Rogan, and they were talking. I forgot his name, Terrace something, right? Mackenzie or so he was talking about how actually the aliens are actually have been found. They have contacted us, and the military knows and all that. I'm like, yeah, yeah. We have a lot of people who have these theories and all that, but no, they're not aliens. No. If anything, if you go on a psychedelic trip, that's where you can probably find aliens because that probably they have found other dimensions and that's where they are. But physically contacting us by the aliens, that has not occurred. None that I know so far. You know, they were talking about how the Germans actually had the best technology because they had insight into like alien technology back in World War II and all that. I agree the Germans had a better technology than Americans or other Europeans, but they had the skills. Look at the German cars; they're the best. Although it's very hard to find parts, so don't buy a German car, man. Although I do have a German car. Is that German? Daimler? Yeah, I think Daimler Chrysler. That's German, right? I mean, I have a smart car, which is actually manufactured by Daimler, and it's a very basic, basic model. But no, I don't believe. I don't suppose that the Germans at that time had the access to some alien technology. They were not aliens. They're not aliens. Everything we are aliens. That's what we are. But as far as extraterrestrial species, no, nobody has contacted us. I can assure you on that one. With a notary, right? No, no aliens. I'm sorry. In the three-dimensional space and time, and that's what I meant to say. Um, in higher dimensions, I mean, astrophysicists talk about higher dimensions and all that, and so that's where probably aliens are. Who knows, right? I don't want to go on and on, but they were talking about that, and I was listening to the guy, and Joe Rogan was like, he's a very skeptical guy, he was also asking him a lot of questions. It was like, hey, how do you know? Like he was like, oh, I have, I have spoken to military people and all that. And Joe Rogan was like, well, why would they give you that information? I said, oh, then recently, like 10 minutes ago, I was watching. How long is it? 13 minutes. Yeah, 13, 14 minutes ago, I was watching his show, and he had this guest. I don't even know. I didn't even bother to look at his name. So how he was like talking about there's no gender, there's no male and female and all that. And Jorgen, he's a very skeptical guy. He's like, how can you say that there's no female and there's no male? Which makes sense because, I mean, you're born with a penis and with masculine biological characteristics, so then you are male. It doesn't matter whether you sleep with guys or women. Same thing for women. Unless you change your sex, then that's a different story. Then you become a female or vice versa, right? It doesn't make any sense what he was saying that, well, there's no man, you're born as whatever you are. No, sir. No, sir. Joe Rogan was right. You know, you're born either with a penis or a vagina, right? So there you go. There you go. Unless you're trans and all that, you know, you're born as a trans. That's a different story, right? But for most part, we are born as males and females. So that's what we are. In any case, so I don't want to go on and on about that, but that's what they were talking about, and it was interesting how the guest was trying to argue with Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan was like, "Listen, you are a male, right? You have a penis, you have testicles, right?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, I know that, but what was the problem? You are male. It doesn't matter whether you sleep with woman or men. Doesn't matter." In any case, so I totally agree with Joe Rogan on that one. And without ranting, but I guess I did rant a little bit. I'm sorry. While I was having my organic nuts, almonds, right? Almonds are really good. Um, in any case, I don't want to go on and on about because it's a Saturday night. Although I don't have to get up early, but I don't want to go on and on for for hours on my podcast because I want to cover the topics in my cheat sheet, right? So yeah, Bill Maher, what the hell he was talking about? Oh, the gun control and NRA and all that bullshit, and then they were talking about what the fuck they were talking about. I'm just trying. He does his like new rules, right? Like last 10 minutes of his show. But before that, he brings in these famous like senators and what the fuck it is, right? Talk show hosts, big talk heads, right? Yeah, I mean everything is surrounded around Trump these days and all that. Because again, Trump actually feeds them what they are feeding him back. So it's like a fucking catch-22, right? But one thing which is in my cheat sheet is disturbing, kind of. I'm sorry, I don't want to use that word disturbing, but the separation of families. I think they were talking about that a lot, which is actually in the media, in the news these days, which makes sense because if you are separating, I mean, well, first of all, I think the argument that nobody should cross the border. I think the big problem for the South Americans is that because of the goddamn drug war and where the fuck it is, right? I mean, the drug war, that's a whole new topic that actually they were talking about. Oh, they were also talking about psychedelics and all that. Because he actually brought in a guest who had written something about psychedelics and how they can actually positively affect you, and including possibly getting you out of addictions and all that, right? I believe in psychedelics. I think this is one era. I mean, this is one genre of natural psychedelics, which the human beings, including big talk heads or scientists, have always shied away from for some goddamn reason, which makes sense because it's a Schedule A drugs, which I don't think they actually are harmful. There are very few cases where psychedelics actually became harmful, not because of their use, but I think because of the whole fucking drug, the whole fucking thing with the drugs and what the fuck the Timothy Leary did and all that bullshit, back in the 70s, right? But I think in the next maybe decade or two, I think the scientists and the medical community and all that, I think they're gonna do a lot of research on psychedelics and apply them to a useful use. instead of just considering them as like drugs that these kids in Bushwick do. I think they have a lot of potential for medicine, addictions, depression, and all that bullshit. But in any case, I don't want to talk about psychedelics. They were talking about that, and yeah, so that's what I was watching. Um, and I always listen to NPR and all that. So yeah, here I am. I'm just taking it easy. You know, I think next Saturday I am inviting all the guys, just a dudes night out. I was supposed to actually invite them tonight, but then I changed it, and I said, guys, listen, I am probably not ready to have a dudes night out, especially a party, because last Saturday, as I said in my last podcast, I was in Long Island with family friends, and we did party there, we did dance and all that, So I needed a break, for this Saturday. So I said, guys, let's do it next Saturday. And that's what I think we're going to do, right? Yep. Just a dude's night out. Yeah, I'm going to invite them. I'm going to do some cooking. Because you always want to have food before any drinking or anything else. No dancing and all that, because I don't want to cause like noise and all that for my neighbors. We're just gonna have like just like a lot of talking, and I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a lot of talking, and that's what it is. Talking, jokes, and all that. You know how dudes do it. All right, how's everyone doing? Well, so yeah, I had a lot of dishes piled up in the goddamn sink, right? So before I did the cooking, so basically I had all those dishes into the dishwasher, which I've used for the first time, and I think the dishwasher is new, so basically I used it for the first time, right? So I put all the dishes into the goddamn dishwasher, and then I think they're done. I have to take them out tomorrow, because you don't want to leave them inside, because what happens is that if you leave them inside, somehow the goddamn thing, what is the thing called that actually, the fungus and all that, whatever the fuck it is, right? Because of heat and all that, so you have to take the dishes out within, like, I would say within 12 hours, right? Once they're done, yeah. Because I made that mistake at my last place, right? I think I forgot that I had all the dishes in there, and a week after I opened it, and it was like fucking shit show. So I had to basically then run the dishwasher again, and then next day I took them out and then put them in the drawers and whatever the fuck it is, right? Yeah, you don't want to do that. So yeah, so here I am. How is everyone doing? Yeah. Oh, by the way, are you guys watching soccer? I mean, I don't watch soccer, the whole games, but I'm just watching them, like, the highlights on YouTube. Holy shit, man. Belgium, 5 fucking goals against Tunisia. I think Tunisia had like 3 or 2, and then Germany killed the Swedes, the Nords, Holy shit. And then the Mexico killed all the South Koreans. That's what it was. In the, usually it's like 3 games a day. FIFA World Cup. So yeah, I watched the highlights, and fucking amazing. Like, in Germany is, what's his name? I forgot the guy who actually did a goal, who scored a goal at the last minute, and that's how they won the game, right? I think the next round is after, like maybe tomorrow or the day after. The next round is going to be the group of 16. So basically 16 countries are eliminated. So now they are 16. Group of 16, and then there's going to be like quarterfinals, semifinals, and then the goddamn final on July 15th, right? Is that what it is? Yeah. So yeah, so we're gonna watch. I believe final, recorded final at my place. Without repeating myself, because I don't want to watch that fucking thing at 11 a.m. Because we'll be all like guys, dudes, and I don't want to fucking drink at 11 o'clock, man. Fuck that bullshit. It's a Sunday. So I told them, listen, guys, let's just watch it at night. You guys can watch the highlights. We all can watch the highlights, but we should watch the recorded one at night. So July 15th, I have invited them as well. So it's going to be another like dudes night out or something like that. Right. All right. So it's 26 minutes, 16 seconds. God damn it! Time flies when you're having fun. Oh shit! My ex-girlfriend is texting me. And my possible date is also texting me for tomorrow. So there we go. How is everyone doing? Yeah, good. That's good to know. All right, so yeah, the weather has been weird. Let's ask Siri. How about that? What the hell? Look this, because the magnet. God damn it! This is the charger for my drone chopper. I was actually flying it last night and today. It's a nice toy. To fly the drone or the chopper, right? And so yeah, so soccer. So that's the news on soccer. I got a lot of great topics that I want to cover, but one thing without digressing, I think I did digress. One thing without digressing, which I was mentioning that the talk heads in Bill Maher's real time were talking about was child separation. For all these poor people from South America who are actually coming into this country because they can't even live in their own countries because of violence. And who was saying? Bill Maher was asking, and then the guests were saying that yes, like South America has one of the most violent countries in the whole world, as opposed to like you would think that Afghanistan or Iraq or no, it's actually the South American countries because of drug war and all that, right? Drug lords and all that. So I feel bad. First of all, I don't believe in fucking borders. These are the constructs of bad human policies. Bad policies of the human beings on this planet. Right? By now, first of all, we should have had a colony on the moon, a base on the moon, and then on the next planet, which is Mars, right? Obviously, we screwed up on that because we keep fighting each other, and we have these borders, and we have these bullshit laws, and God damn it, man. I really feel like I crash landed my ship onto this planet, but then again, this is my planet. What can you do? But I really feel bad first of all, for these South Americans who come into this country, and second of all, I think I said that in my last podcast. We need them, actually. We do need them. Apparently, there's shortage of workers. One avocado farmer in California was saying that there are no workers. You think these American citizens would want to pick avocados? I don't think so. No. But getting back to the first point is that first of all, yeah, it's horrible for them to actually leave their countries and leave their houses, leave their homes, because apparently the violence is so much that they can't live there. So so then they have to move out of their neighborhoods, of their countries, of their cities, and what they see is America as an opportunity, not as an opportunity. That's not the word I think I should use. As a as refugees, and whatever help they can bring in, they come to the border and they cross the border, and then we have the immigration people, they're separating the kids from the adults, because now the adults have to go to fucking jail or what the fuck it is, detention center, right? And kids cannot be there, so they go into foster or whatever the hell it is. So, and then this is like the whole fucking, like, goddamn, like, fucking, what the fuck it is, right? I'm sorry, I'm ranting, but it's just a fucking bullshit, It's like, first of all, somebody has to actually look at the whole fucking thing, from an outsider's perspective, and change the fucking immigration laws, and the border laws and all that bullshit, right? And if these countries have such violence that their people cannot even live there, then we should consider giving them a refuge. What's the problem with that? I don't fucking understand. Right? Plus, we need them. We need the workers. We need the fucking work. Look who's doing all the work here. All these immigrants. Right? And eventually they open up businesses, and they give employment to the locals and all that, and they pay taxes and all that, except for very few. I heard some gang bullshit, and but those are under control by the cops, right? So I don't fucking understand what the problem is, and I feel bad for these kids, to be honest with you, and I hope that they get back to getting back to with their parents or their guardians, whatever you call it, guardians of the galaxy, right? Oh, by the way, I watched that Guardians of the goddamn galaxy. Oh, by the way, did you guys actually hear that Jurassic Park? Not Jurassic Park. Goddamn. Jurassic World. Oh yeah, that's one of my topics. Last topic in my cheat sheet. Jurassic World. Steven Spielberg movie. Apparently, it is basically crushing all the box office. I mean, I'm not into Jurassic World kind of genres of movies, but I guess it's set in a future. It's set in a future world where actually the T-Rex, the T-Rex, are big, or somehow we have preserved them, or we found them, or bullshit. I mean, I don't want to spread spoiler alerts, but I might actually watch that tomorrow, like early, in the UA Court Cinema, before my date. Well, I mean, if I don't watch movies in the morning, I mean, I'm not gonna get up in the morning, man. Sunday, come on. I'm gonna get up probably in the afternoon or maybe noon, right? Yeah, fuck that, dude. I just take it easy, I'm not a really early morning person to begin with, you know. Um, One of the electricians actually, he was trying to like get me to get up like 7 o'clock on Friday morning. Like I'm like, dude, no, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, just I'm not a morning person, you know, because I don't like the morning rush hour traffic and all that. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do that, you know. I mean, I feel bad for him because I think the mistake I made was the the day before Friday, right? I said, yeah, okay, I will make it. You know, just call me at 7 o'clock in the morning. And then when I get pressurized to get up like 7 o'clock in the morning to go to an 8 o'clock meeting, which is actually not really related to my company, it's for him, and he just needs help on drawings and all that. I'm like, dude, no, I'm not doing that bullshit, you know. So I texted him like at 4 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't go to sleep, you know. When I get pressured, unless it's like a meeting that was set up between me and my client or architect or anything like that, that's fine. I can get up and I try not to actually set up the meetings early in the morning. But if it's if it's an emergency, then that's a different story. But if it's not, and this guy is trying to make money when there's nothing for me in there, to be honest with you, I'm like, I texted him. I'm like, listen, I can't do this, man. I just I have other things to do. So that's what I told him, and that's what I did. I just I just woke up like around like 10 o'clock, and then I went to work, and I was there. I worked until like 8 o'clock, and that's it. Yeah, I'm not a morning person. I don't like the morning rush hour traffic and all that bullshit. I would rather work like late until like 7:30, 8 o'clock. There you go. All right, so 37 minutes, 13 seconds into my podcast. Um, so I'm going to get into my cheat sheet. How is everyone doing? Huh? Saturday night? You guys are partying? You Bushwick goddamn hipsters? Sometimes I think I should actually go to one of those like daytime, parties. But then I think my next thought would be why? You're too fucking old to party. Something like that. Just go watch a movie, man. Just go watch a fucking movie or do something that you like. You like I have partied more than anybody else in the whole fucking world. You know, last like from I came to this country when I was 28, right? 28 until when I was like 40, maybe 41 or 42, right? I have partied like I would go out like every fucking weekend, right? Lately to Bushwick and all these fucking like what the fuck it is like early morning parties, right? That's it. Every place has its own time, and every time has its own place in your life. That's what I feel like. I don't even feel like going to the bars. You know, I guess because when you grow older and you feel like, yeah, you've done that. Now what? What are you gonna do at the bars? Like drink and like, well, I guess you could meet people, but I mean, you could make friends and new friends and all that. But I don't know if that's the way to do it. Plus, in the neighborhood that I live, there are not many like bars around here. There's a church across the street. There's a lot of like courthouses and all that. There's the borough hall and all that bullshit. Uh, I mean, I could go down on Court Street or Smith Street and all of those places, but I don't know. I just feel like I took a turn in my life. I think that's what it is. That it's nice to like meet people, meet new people and all that. But But I think sometimes you just don't want to. You just want to chill out by yourself, and which is fine. You know, I got a date tomorrow, and I got the guys coming in next Saturday, so I'm fine. And I got a busy week. And all I'm just focusing on is my work. That's it, sir. Yeah, that's it. You know, once in a blue moon, I drive up, along Hudson to Peekskill or one of those, like Dairytown, one of those. When the weather is really nice and it's hot, then I just drive up there. Fuck it. That's what I do. So, how is everyone doing? Yeah, good. That's good. All right. So let's just get into cheat sheet because it's already 40 minutes and I am kind of old and I need to sleep. At some point in time you gotta sleep. Exactly. So let's just get into my cheat sheet. All right. So the first topic I have is alcohol and women. Alcohol and women. So apparently there was an article on BBC, let me just look it up, that women who actually drink or drink a lot actually apparently in drinking among women has been on the rise. I think that was one point they were trying to make. BBC. Oh, by the way, so I was texting my ex-colleagues about this email rant between Elon Musk and one of his employees that he actually fired from Tesla, and the employee was like, this is like I'm like the inside, I'm giving the inside news to the fucking media, whatever the fuck it is, right? Of course, they didn't use those words, but they were going like on a rant, like email rant. What the fuck, dude? But in any case, let me find that one, okay? Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I apologize. BBC alcohol and women. Okay, so this is the article, right? BBC Future. This is what it says. Why alcohol affects women more than men. More and more women are addicted to booze, but their needs have largely been ignored by the medical establishment. Oh, because us men were the culprits, right? Again, it's to be that men were the outsized alcohol drinkers in Western society, perhaps best depicted in popular culture by Don Draper's Mad Men cronies who swell, right? But the rise of marketing alcohol to women and the changing of gender roles have gradually shifted the booze imbalance. Overall, men are still almost twice as likely as women to binge drink, but that isn't true for younger people, specifically. In fact, women born between 1991 and 2000 now drink just as much as their male counterparts. Holy shit. So women are boozers as much as men are. But the problem is that, I think the point they're trying to make is that the problem is that the women's bodies are affected differently by alcohol than men's body, for reasons that go beyond mere size. It's not only size of the woman, because for most part, women are smaller in size than men. But apparently it actually affects their bodies, including the liver, the breast cancer, and all that, in a very, very bad way. In the worst way, then it would affect men, apparently. So, is that good news for men? No, that's not good news for men. I'm just saying that that's a bad news for women. So yeah, look it up. It's an article on BBC and how women are actually how women are actually, first of all, young women between who were born between 1991 and 2000 are actually drinking as much as their male counterparts, but they don't. That what they don't realize is that the alcohol actually is affecting them more than it affects men, for the reasons that have been depicted in this article. You guys can look it up for yourself. And ladies, take it easy on alcohol. Always eat something when you're drinking. Which is tough because if you're at a bar and all that, you're with your friends and all that, yeah, man, you don't want to do that. I think that's what it is, like younger generation. Because I think the article doesn't actually mention one thing. Because I read the whole fucking thing, right? And one thing it doesn't mention is that because of the equal gender equality and all that, now women, yeah, I think it does mention that. The gender shift and all that, I think it says that now, women feel like they are like men, and they're working and they have these big roles or whatever the hell it is, right? They're graduating, they're taking up like boss positions and all that. Now they feel like they are like men and they're drinking just like men used to. And I think I also said that actually men are drinking less. I don't know, which I don't believe in that. But regardless, that was my first topic in my cheat sheet, right? And so yeah, let's get to the next topic without any further ado, right? Simon Sinek. What the fuck, dude? Who's Simon Sinek? What the fuck? Hold on a second. Simon. Oh, Simon Sinek. Okay, Simon Sinek is a British American author, motivational speaker, and organizational consultant. He's the author of 4 books, including Start With Why. So he was talking about the millennials. I think he was on Ben Shapiro's show. Is that what it was? Or was that Joe Rogan? I think it was Ben Shapiro's show, or one of those, right? He was talking about how he's born in 1973. Yeah, me too. We are going to change the face of this planet. God damn it! Why do I feel so goddamn old? I don't understand. All right. So yeah. So Simon Sinek, or Sinek, is that what you say it? Yeah. Look at his videos on YouTube just randomly, right? He talks about how millennials have this like privilege to everything. They're always like constantly looking up on their phones, and they want this and they want that, and how all this is actually changing the lifestyle and in a negative way, and how these things are going to change millennials in a negative way. Well, okay, all right. So just look it up. Sir, ma'am, it's already 48 minutes into my podcast, so I'm not going to go on and on. But, okay. U.S. leaving International Human Rights Commission. Oh, what the fuck, dude? Is that what it is? Hold on a sec. U.S. leaving Human Rights Council. Oh, council, not commission. God damn it. Cheer the U.S. exit from United Nations Human Rights Council, but demand more. The hell? What the fuck is the hell? What the hell is... Okay, cheer the U.S. exit from UN Human Rights Council, but demand more. At long last, innocents leaving the United Nations from a morally corrupt union that flagrantly betrays the ideal it supposedly upholds. The Council has been a microcosm of the United States' fundamental moral bankruptcy. Even as I should cheer the Trump administration's decision to step away from it, we must demand even more from the United Nations. A principled commitment to individual rights. The UN is bullshit, man. Fuck the UN. I mean, my sister works for the UN, but it's bullshit. The whole fucking UN, this whole idea is bullshit. Especially these days. It's just bullshit. It's not really fucking doing anything. So fuck that bullshit, dude. Alright, so next one. FIFA, I talked about that, right? Oh, great game, man. Holy shit. Between Germany and Sweden. I mean, my brother lives in Sweden with his wife and kids, so obviously they were all for Sweden. And my sister, my little sister, she lives in Germany, so she was all for Germany. So there you go. So Germans goddamn won the game, and then the Mexico killed all the fucking Koreans, right? God damn. So yeah, I was watching the highlights, and then what was the third game between Sweden and Germany, Mexico and Korea, right? What is the fucking third game? Hold on a second. God damn it. The third game was between Belgium and Tunisia. Belgium and Tunisia. Holy shit. 5 goals against Tunisia. Goddamn, Belgium's killed them, man. Holy shit. All right, so yeah, we're looking forward. I'm looking forward to the final. The next topic, child separation. I discussed about that. I really feel really bad for the children who are fleeing with their parents or their guardians because of the goddamn violence in their countries, and then we are doing this to them, which is absolutely inhumane. Absolutely inhumane, where we are separating them from their parents because we have the worst immigration policy in this country. There you go. I guess, well, we are not the worst, but I guess the whole fucking world is a bullshit when it comes to immigration, right? Alright, so, Tesla again did shit in a Musk email rant with his employee. I mentioned that. That was kind of like weird. There's an article on BBC actually. It actually tells you what exactly they said between the two of them, right? You are not this, and I said that, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. And I was texting that, like I took a picture of my computer screen, right? And then I was texting it to my ex-colleagues, and they were like, oh yeah, this is Russia. This is like Russian bots. This is not real. I don't know. I mean, it's a BBC article, so it's got to be real, right? All right. My next topic. Davidson and Grande. Oh, Pete Davidson and Grande, right? Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson, as you guys know, he works for SNL, and I think he does. He also does stand-up comedies, because I think Bill Burr did that with him. Basically, he's a comedian. God damn it! I ran out of my nuts. You know, the almonds and the pistachios. All right, so apparently the news is that Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande, they're getting married. Are they getting married or are they getting engaged? God damn it, one of those. Because you know what the article was saying? That they actually had been dating for like a few weeks. What the fuck? This is what happens to these celebrities. They're like date for like a few weeks and they get married. What? What the fuck, dude? It's like I made the mistake back in the days of like, dating a woman for like a month, and then I moved in with her, and then I moved out in a month. This is exactly what it is with these celebrities. So you guys actually dated for like a few weeks, and now you want to get married? What the fuck, dude? This marriage is not going to last long. I'm telling you right now. relationships take a long time to build, a long time, you know. Especially among celebrities, because celebrities have problems to begin with, right? Look what happened with Bourdain and all these other fucking people who actually took their own lives, including what's his name? God damn it, Robbie Williams. Yeah. So there you go. All right. So Windows Bootcamp on Mac. So I did that last night, by the way. So I have two computers, right? Two like old MacBooks. So I had since sometimes I use Windows. So what I did was I did the partition, right? I did the goddamn partition on the MacBook, right? Is that this one? I think it's this one. And then I had purchased the Windows, right? I purchased the Windows 10, and so I basically once I did the partition, right, using Bootcamp. Um, I think I should do like a video on this one. If you guys are into that, if you have a Mac, right, and sometimes you have to use Windows because unfortunately many software, updated software, they don't come from Mac. So then what you can do is on a certain Macs, you know, after like 2012, you can do like a partition on your hard disk, and then you can do that, and then you can install Windows on that partition. So that's what I did last night, and it worked perfectly. It worked perfectly, and then I also installed today, I think, the Microsoft Office on that. There you go. So that's what I did. God damn it, that was perfect. You know, I think I'm becoming an expert on that. My last topic. I'm sorry, it's 56 minutes. I apologize. Uh, but Jurassic World, I think I mentioned that it's actually breaking the records. It's breaking the chops on like making fucking money more than I think it's making more money than the Infinity Wars. I think that's what it is, if I'm not mistaken. But you guys can look it up. If you are into Jurassic World, go watch that movie. I might watch that movie tomorrow. I don't know, maybe 3D. With that said, I hope, not I hope, I presume you all relate to what I talk about. And with that said, I will see you all next Saturday or Sunday.